generally have a lot of respect for my opponents, but Julian Erosa, I just feel like he's a weirdo. He was calling me out in my DMs. He was I didn't even read the messages. They were in my message request, and then he starts commenting on my pictures, saying I'm ducking him.
Steven, let's jump right into it. February 5th, you're gonna face off with Julian Erosa, Las Vegas. You're back in Las Vegas. Do you like fighting in the Apex? You know, some people enjoy it. Some people like the small cage. They don't like it. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't like it, just because I enjoy that crowd. You know, the crowd adds like a lot of energy to the experience. Just walking out and seeing all that crowd. I think there's a reason why arenas have the crowd all around, and then we're playing in the middle as they cheer whatever you believe in. There's some sort of energy there, and I feel like I can feed off of that with the crowd. That being said, at the Apex we don't have that, so it has to be a totally different experience. Going in there. There will be some people there, so there will be some energy in the room, but everybody's watching on TV, but at the same time, you can't feel them, you can't see them, you can't hear them. So I think it'll change the dynamic of the fight. When the crowd cheers, sometimes I do things, when I'm feeding off that energy. I won't have that, so maybe it'll be a lot more strategic of a fight. Obviously, I want to go out there, get the job done, get the knockout in the first round, and get out of there. But I'm able to, not riding all those adrenaline spikes with the crowd. So it'll definitely be different, but I can't say that I prefer this experience to fighting in front of a crowd.
Leading into it, is it a different mental approach for yourself?
Not so much. I'd say the main mental approach is the fact that I dislike, or I don't care for my opponent this time. Normally, I'm indifferent about my opponent. We're usually I have more in common with my opponents than I do with most of the people I hang out with. My good friends. So uh, we have the same goals in common. We're chasing the same dream. So I generally have a lot of respect for my opponents, but Julian Erosa, I just feel like he's a weirdo. He was calling me out in my DMs. He was I didn't even read the messages. They were in my message request, and then he starts commenting on my pictures, saying I'm ducking him. And I'm like, who is this guy? He's coming off of two losses, or he might have got a win or something. But then in his post-fight interview, he called me out, and that kind of made me take notice. Look into him, and he's a good opponent. He's a tough opponent, but not somebody with a big name. Not somebody I would necessarily pick out of a lineup if I had an option. But this guy called me out, so now it's personal.
When did that start? Did it start a long time ago? The DMs and the commenting?
No, I guess when I think I called out Landwehr after I beat Hooper, and calling out Landwehr was more of a personal thing because I don't care for the guy, and if I'm in a division with guys that I have a lot of respect for, and then there's a guy that stands out and I don't have so much respect for him, that's the guy I want to fight. So I called out Landwehr, and then I guess Arosa was like, "Well, I beat Landwehr, so." I should fight him. And he went into my message requests, and after the fight, I have freaking hundreds of them. I don't even go through most of them. So yeah, I took notice when he started commenting on my stuff, and then I look and saw, and there was a message request in there from him. I was like, all right, this guy, he's been talking shit for some time, but I kind of just paid it no mind. At that time, he was coming off of a win, but it didn't make sense. I was coming off of two wins. The guy's got less followers on Instagram. He's been in and out of the UFC. Had two bad stints. This stint seems to be going much better for him in the UFC. So it just didn't make sense to kind of hype it up until he called me out. But I'm never one to back down from a challenge. So you call me out, and then talk shit, you get hit. That's what we say where I'm from. Talk shit, get hit, and I live by that. I've lived by that throughout my high school. That's why I got a reputation for fighting, and I'm gonna stick to that.
When you put away all of that and you look at him as a fighter, as his, the skills that he possesses, what do you see in him?
I mean, he's good. He's long. He's tall for the weight class. I mean, 26-9. That's a lot of wins. Like comparing my record, I'm 19-9. I feel like I've fought a higher level of competition early on in my career, but he's also fought a high level of competition when he got to the UFC earlier in his career, and he had some setbacks. So, we've had similar ups and downs, but I feel like before I got to the UFC, I fought a much higher level of competition that prepared me for the level now that I'm in the UFC, and he's had to kind of learn that level as he got into the UFC and then got cut and then made his way back. So now he's somewhat risen to that level, and he's long. He's a good striker. He's dynamic. He's got that flying knee knockout. He's got really long arms. He's got some of those Bravo chokes. So he definitely has a lot of really good tools and attributes about him. So it makes for a really interesting fight getting in there.
Yeah, it is an interesting fight, and his physicality, like, what's the UFC like? I don't know. It's weird. The last three fights, this is the fourth one where the guys are like 6 foot and taller. Even the fights that you didn't even like that got canceled, they're all tall, long guys. Like, why do they keep trying to set you up with these guys? I don't know.
I think it's because they like to get their money's worth out of me. There's plenty of guys at featherweight that are like 5'6", 5'8", but I feel like I fight somebody of that stature, I'm going to be able to keep my range. I'm going to be able to kind of pick them apart. I've never been one to tiptoe around the division or fight cans. And I think that's opened up the door to you can't go to doing that after you've been fighting tough level competition. So, they want to, they can't build me. I'm not undefeated. They can't build me up to be a phenom, unbeatable type fighter. So they have to, play with what they got. And I put on a lot of wars, and they know I'm durable. So they put me in there with tall guys to see how I mitigate that reach advantage. And because obviously I have to come forward. I'm fighting a tall guy. I have to come forward. And I feel like this is a great matchup for that because Julian Erosa is going to come forward as well, and it's going to be a banger, no doubt.
I see you doing some hammer training, man. I wonder what are the benefits of that.
Yeah, I've been working with the GOT, the God of Thunder hammer system, and I feel like a lot of grip strength, different forearm stuff, because like you can hold it. They have different grip levels, and it's the different size hammers. I have a 20-pound hammer. But I can hold it on the first rung closest to the thing and do, bicep curls. But if I go to the second rung, I can do maybe 2, and then my wrist starts to give. And then so you work your way up to where eventually you can do the curls with that. And then you go on to the third rung. And now you have, really supported back, wrist, biceps, grip strength. And then there's all kinds of different workouts you can do. My buddy Darius, I think it's called move.hq on Instagram. Anyways, if you check out on my Instagram at 8ocho08, you'll see I tagged him. He's actually writing a book on all the different workouts you can do with the GOT hammer. So it's pretty awesome. Look forward to that coming out soon.
Yeah, the picture of you holding that above your head, that big piece of metal, I'm like, oh, that looks pretty.
Yeah, mess that up, and it's like, oh man, you're not gonna be able to fight. So I'm like, I'm super focused right now, but I do things in training like sparring. You mess up, you're done. You're gonna be hurt. So stuff like that really helps bring in the focus, and it's like I can't afford to mess up, just like in the fight. So I think it really translates over pretty well.
in the gym, man, of course we know that you're at Fortis. You know, a crazy, crazy level of talent there. The team is awesome. The coach, the head coach, is crazy. Like he's done a phenomenal job. For yourself, man, who have you been working with in on the mats for this fight?
Man, I've been working with everybody. We got so many guys, young up and comers. I don't want to miss anybody, so I'm just gonna stick with some of the main guys. Stephen Wynn, uh, he fought on the Contender Series and won. He should be in the UFC pretty soon. Fernie Garcia, Miles Johns, he'll be fighting on the same night, February 5th as well. Elijah Johns, his younger brother. Saad Awad, he's a new addition to Fortis in the last, I think, 5, 6 months, and he's a great addition, a vet, and just a class act in general. So I've had the pleasure of working with all those gentlemen.
Yeah, and he also has a fight coming up, I believe, at the end of February or
Yeah,
January.
he's fighting, I believe, the 29th of
Yeah,
January.
like
So
a couple days before you, right? So it's all
yeah,
good. It's all good. That's great to
we're
see.
all like building and
Yeah.
climaxing time. We want to peak, at the same time because we're in the same training camp, so we kind of know what each other's going through. We kind of know, hey, buddy, where's your weight at? And it's, okay, now I can compare where I'm at, uh, rather than just going off of what I think. Everybody's around me, so we kind of all ride the same waves. One day we're all beat up from training. We know, okay, it's not just me. I'm not falling behind. I feel really tired and weak today. Okay, you feel tired and weak today. Okay, maybe it's all the training. Maybe we need to. So we can kind of gauge where we're at based off of each other. It's pretty cool.
For sure. And what do you see in Julian Erosa's fate on February 5th?
Julian Erosa is going to sleep February 5th. No doubt about it.
Simple, simple. I like that. Let's talk about your ventures outside the cage. You got that
Okay.
Ocho TV going on. You're in the studio right now. Tell us what's going on with you lately.
Yeah, man. Just trying to work on other avenues, building this production company, Ocho TV. We're on YouTube right now, youtube.com/OchoTV08, and Instagram. We're at Ocho_TV. Uh, Kind of just a production company, building a couple of different, original concepts, not just about myself, but about other fighters and from different walks of life, stuff like that. Uh, yeah, man, it's really a work in progress. We're trying to build our following on YouTube. I've been launching videos every Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes we'll drop a cool video on a Monday as well. So if you would just subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos, comment, tell us what you want to see. If you love it, you love it. If you hate it, let us know you hate it. Any comment helps. Just trying to get some engagement on there and get my views up, and then we'll start hitting it with some real content. But it's a good way I can plug my sponsors and work on stuff outside of the sport. Obviously I coach as well, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always hustling. I'm always looking for different ways to expand my career outside of the octagon.
Yeah, man. You know, you're an inspiration just with the fighting aspect, but you balancing other businesses and I know you got more things going on. You're not mentioning those other things, but yeah, man, it's inspiring. If you feel like you're doing something, you gotta look at someone like you and say, "Oh no, you ain't doing nothing. You gotta add something more to
Yeah,
your plate."
yeah, I mean, yeah, and then following your passion, but you got to stick with your breadwinner. The thing that pays the bills, is coaching, teaching, fighting. I mean, I make more money in a fight than I do, the rest of the year. So it's really focusing on those things, but building other things that just planting seeds, and you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify. And, when I'm done fighting, I plan on having the freedom to do whatever I want. I want to be able to have multiple businesses running by that point and, kind of just live my dreams.
All right, a couple more before I let you go. MMA fans, you know what I mean? We talked about the comments and everything. MMA fans, they're some of the wildest, some of the craziest, some of the most passionate people out there. What do fans obsess about too much that fighters don't really care about?
I mean, it's obsessing about just another person, really. They obsess about us. They obsess about celebrities. In order to be a celebrity, you can't obsess about other celebrities. You can't obsess about somebody else. You have to be obsessed with your work. So that's one thing about the fans, and they don't really even watch the fight at the UFC level. When I go sit in the crowd, it's like these guys aren't watching the fight. They're just waiting for the knockout so they can look up at the screen and be like, they're not really engaged in the fight. Like the guys could be moving, throwing, unless they're bleeding and, trading, throwing caution to the wind. Uh, MMA fans are just real one-sided with that. They need blood, they need knockouts. Uh, One thing with Ocho TV and my brand Fight Fit Lifestyle that we've tried to do is get the fans to engage more with the fighters, get to know the fighters as people outside of the cage. Because, we're entertainers, we're fighters, but we're also, we work really hard for this. We train and, we're people outside of the cage. So when you get to know us as a person, then when you're watching the fight, you're somewhat emotionally involved. So watching the fight as, just a random spectator, or if you think you know the fighter, you're going to be engaged. You're going to be, every time that guy gets hit, you're going to be uh, with it. And that's kind of what I want to bring more, just the humanality to the fighters and show that we're humans in there and get the fans to actually care about what happens when we fight.
The fight game is, has the highest highs, the lowest lows. You know what I mean? Some of it can be traumatic to fighters, to coaches, whoever is involved. PTSD. Have you ever experienced it yourself or seen it around you in people?
Yeah, I've seen it around me for sure. PTSD could be like a very broad statement. I mean, some people have experienced it in different. I mean, some people have seen gruesome things, had their bodies blown up and stuff like that. So I can't compare to that level of PTSD. But yeah, like I said, it can be a very broad statement. So I've experienced it with my divorce. I feel like it's something that comes back in different relationships, and it's something that kind of it's always there. But it's something you got to work with. You got to learn to live with it, and coping skills. Learn how to manage. Learn how to not take it out on other people. Because whatever happened, and the person in front of you isn't the person that did that to you.
All right. One last thing. Kevin Lee, man, when he signed his new deal with Eagle FC, they announced that they're gonna pay him in crypto. So, what are your thoughts on cryptocurrency, and would you ever agree to be paid in crypto?
Yeah, I think I would. It's really interesting to see like what they agreed on, because Bitcoin was like 60,000 a month ago, and now it's like 30 something, 40,000. So if they agreed on one amount in crypto, and now that amount is worth so much less, uh, but say you sign a deal and you agree on one amount now, and then it looks like it's going to go back up, that might be very lucrative. So it's a gamble, just like fighting is a gamble. I think that would be a gamble, getting paid in crypto. But I feel like on the long term, that's probably a good way to go if you plan on investing, which I do with most of the money I make. So if you plan on investing, that might be a good route to go.
All right. February 5th, UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas. Steven, always a pleasure speaking with you, man. Good luck on the fight and the rest of the camp.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to all my sponsors. I got Hutch's Barbecue, Door to Door Shuttle, Texas Solar Brokers, Dank Vodka, the first terpene vodka. Check them out. They're at Specs, Goody Goody Liquor. It's called Dank Vodka. It's really good, really clean vodka. New Lifespan. You can go to their website, ochomma.com, and try out their products. They got CBD products. They got this product I take for my brain, neurotropic, called Myelin Caps. So check it out. Use promo code OCHO10, and I'll get you 10% off. CWL.law and Chandler Cabinets. If it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do as well as I do it. So I appreciate you guys' support. And yeah, tune in. February 5th is going down.